My name is Segun Olonade. I'm a lawyer and a human development enthusiast. I believe so much in the development of the totality of human capacity, particularly in Nigeria and the African continent. I've seen so much of poor leadership across the length and breadth of Africa. I've seen so much of deprivation, poverty, and backwardness in the African race. And I feel so burdened in my heart. And I wondered where quality leadership has gone in the mainstream of the educated elites in Africa. Personally, I've never had any desire to go into any form of elective office until the last 2 years when I began to see that much of the crop of leadership we have in Nigeria, particularly, which is my country, is leadership of thugs, leadership of rogues, leadership of miscreants, drug addicts and drug barons who are ruling over millions of educated elites, professionals across the length and breadth of our nation, and they are running Nigeria aground. This burden began to nurse in me a desire to come into Nigeria's body politics. I had that desire, and then a few months ago, precisely towards the end of August, I had a very unfortunate encounter on COVID-19 with myself and my wife, and both of us were hospitalized in an isolation center. It was very, very traumatic. But at the isolation center, everything went so well. State-of-the-art equipment here in Ibadan, Oyo State. Solid, well-built ambulances that carried us from the private hospital to the isolation center. Air conditioning in virtually every space, including the ICU. I was so impressed with the government of Oyo State. And I said within myself, if because of one man, Seyi Makinde, a state can become so functional, so efficient, that you actually feel as if you're in a foreign land, I am going to do my best in Nigeria's body politics. And funny enough, I just wanted, for whatever it is worth, to vie for the presidency of Nigeria. Very funny. How can a poor man like me ever dream of the presidency? But I just felt I don't care about the presidency per se, but I just want to make a statement. I just want to make a statement. And that statement is, all that is needed for good governance is a good heart. Not so much of education. We have had the best of sound professionals, the best of architects and lawyers, people from different backgrounds, some even having foreign education in Harvard and all that, and yet the country is still the way it is. And I've concluded in my heart that what it takes for good leadership, simply and purely, is an understanding of what good governance is and a readiness, a preparedness to give it everything it takes. That's why I said, if you have a good heart, you can actually occupy any leadership position in this country and do creditably well, because you're going to surround yourself with good people. And when people are in governance and when people are vying for governance and they're not interested in the position itself, and they don't even have the money to do it, but the masses are ready to support them. The masses are ready to give the support, to give the finances, to give the backing. Then such a person becomes the people's candidate. I want to be people's candidate. I don't need money of my own to run election. If the people believe in me, they will stand behind me and will get the job done. The era of money bags and godfatherism should be over in our country, even as we approach 2023. But back to my story. Eventually, contrary to all indications, all medical indications, contrary to all expectations, even from my own wife, because she told me, my dear, I'm going to live. My dear, I'm not going to die. She even told me to record it as we were in the ambulance, that she was going to walk with her 2 feet back home. And throughout the time in the hospital, up to the last 4 days, our hopes were so high that she was going to make it. And so, even right there in the hospital, because my hope was so high, my aspiration was still very strong. But as Providence will have it, 3-4 days down the line, she gave up the ghost. And every dream and every aspiration died, was crushed completely within me. Months after the burial, as I read newspapers, as I read stories, information, the social media, the burden for Nigeria came back. I'm doing this recording in a village called Akintola Village, where we had a farm. We started the farm about a year ago. And I'm here primarily to demonstrate through series of videos you're going to be seeing, I'm going to be recording on small innovations to farming to encourage our people. And I strongly believe that Nigeria is on the upward swing. So ladies and gentlemen, you're coming with us on a voyage of discovery, a voyage of agricultural, technological, and industrial discoveries in a bid to make Nigeria better. We are believing that, all things being equal, if we will put our mind to it, we can make Nigeria what we want it to become. Nigeria does not have to be ruled by godfathers and moneybags. We want to change the narrative. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome on board Good Governance Nigeria Grassroots Growth Initiative, welcoming you to new vistas of understanding of how things are meant to work in a nation. And so, this is Akintola Village, and we're here. Just want to show you a panoramic shot of the village where we are having the best of time, drinking gari under fresh African sun, and surrounded by huts all over this place. We just went to the farm to go and harvest our maize on the farm, and we are still going to proceed to a larger farm where we have cassava, about 8 acres of cassava that we planted some um, 7 months ago, all the way from Akpata in Ibadan. The point we are trying to make is this nation can be better if we develop our rural communities. This nation can take a new shape if every Nigerian will come out and begin to do meaningful things in our villages. Here in this village, there is no single POS. I wanted to collect some money. They said I have to go as far as Olodo before I can get money. But if this area is developed and people begin to come in, and agricultural facilities, agricultural projects begin to spring up all over this area, before you know it, the agricultural projects will take us into buying and selling. There are people that sell minerals here. I just bought Pepsi. I just bought Pepsi somewhere there. And there are a few other things you can, but every local community can become a small town. Every local community can become a small town. And that is our goal in Good Governance Nigeria, that we get our local governments to begin to work. We get local government chairmen to become alive to their responsibilities. We fix roads. The vehicle that brought our machine, I'm still going to be talking about it um, in the next video, one or two other videos down the line. But you can see at my back the vehicle that brought the machine that we want to use to shell our our maize from the farm. I'm going to be talking about it um, in the course of this public discussion, this public exposition and enlightenment on what we are to do in order for us to move to the next level in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop here so that I can attend to the men that brought the machine. I'm going to be talking about how to change the narrative in this nation. With or without being in government, we can make our little impact to redress, address, and re-engineer our country. Thank you very much.